Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield here at the Charing Cross Theatre for a brand new show called Dusty the Show. And it's here, it's doing the business. We've got 2 stars of the show. Ellie, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Francesca, nice to see you again.
Hello, how are you?
I'm so unmemorable, you've forgotten when we last met.
Well, I don't think you remember me either. So
No, well, I remembered you before you remembered me, and you'd think with my face you'd remember me more.
Oh, this is true. It was definitely Dreamboats and Petticoats in Nottingham, I believe.
I don't know about that. I don't know whether it was some nightclub somewhere. And Duncan, the man behind Dusty the Show, is the genius who's put this together with a whole load of people. How's it going, firstly?
Very well received. Everyone's enjoying it, and people are learning more about Dusty, which is nice.
What's amazing about Dusty, and I love her music, is that she was incredibly complex. She was a lady who fought sort of a war that wasn't even happening yet. And if she'd have had her career today, it would still be controversial.
Yes, I think what we found from this is how she had to fight to get her music known, and she did. She fought at a time when women weren't allowed to be involved in men's world.
Ellie, tell me about your character, because of course there you are portraying this lady who is so complicated. Is it thrilling, exhilarating? Are the songs as magical as I would imagine they are?
Yeah, the songs are absolutely fantastic, and it's so good to hear them night after night, and just... yeah, they help move the show along, and the character's so complex, and I'm always finding new things to play and to try, and it's great to play her from kind of about 14, 15 up until about late 20s. We're celebrating her life, so...
Was there a point she was ever really happy? Because this is what we're trying to discover, because it seems to me with anybody like her, of that genius, that they're troubled no matter how successful they are.
Yes, I think she was constantly troubled, and I think because of her upbringing and obviously her sexuality, and I think she was very needy and always wanted attention and reassurance, and I feel she never quite was satisfied. She always wanted more. She always wanted that next thing. Yeah.
And the question is, was she ever fulfilled? And of course, in this show, you play the part of a sort of best friend and a confidant. What's your take on Dusty as a human being? Was she flawed? Was she just too much of a genius? What have you taken from it?
I would definitely say she was a genius, a complete genius within her own right. And I didn't actually realise how much she had to fight to get to where she was in that day. They call her the blue-eyed Queen of Soul. The struggle with the black and white thing, I did not realise that was part of her life. It's very much part of her character, isn't it? And very much part of her career. Incredible. And of course, in this show, they've used technology to bring her back in a 2015 way. Explain to me how that works on stage. I suppose the biggest thing we have is the hologram, which is quite incredible. So you have a sort of almost a ghostly presence of Dusty Springfield at about 4 points throughout the show. And I also have the luxury of singing a duet with Dusty on a screen. It's quite a spectacle to see. You know, these big black and white projections of Dusty Springfield, and then obviously for me to get to sing a duet with that is it's incredible.
And what do? Do you give in to the fact you're not going to be better than her? Do you try and compete with her? Where do you pitch it? Because it could become awkward, couldn't it?
You don't compete. You're singing with Dusty Springfield. So basically you're a backing vocalist. That's how you see yourself.
No, I think that's unfair, and I want to step in here. I think the duet is amazing. It's something we'd always hoped could happen. And we debated long and hard whether Dusty would have anybody singing with her, because we wanted Dusty to be the star of the show. But what we found is that we can bring old and new technology together, and it works extremely well. It's one of the high points of the show for me.
And we should talk about this 3D hologram thing. I mean, I've seen it done twice. One was with Celine Dion in Las Vegas, and it is unbelievable. I mean, she did a trick where she actually introduced herself as a hologram, and we didn't know. It's that good. I mean, you do feel like these people are in the room. They did it with Sinatra less successfully at the Palladium. That didn't quite work. But I mean, this new stuff is remarkable.
Yeah, it is, and I think it's so good that theatre's trying something new, and we're trying to incorporate this together. And like Duncan and Francesca said, like, it is absolutely wonderful how you can sing with an old star, and so many people say it works wonderfully, and it's just new and it's exciting.
Why you? Why did they choose you for this role?
I don't know why they chose. I think I perhaps don't look too dissimilar from Dusty. I think that probably helped. And I don't know, maybe Maybe I'm all right. I don't know. Who knows?
Duncan, I don't think all right would have been enough on the CV, would it?
No, exactly. She looks very, very like Dusty. We've had a lot of people say that, and she plays the part very well.
What is the key to playing Dusty? Is it the subtlety? Because, I mean, she was very insecure, wasn't she, as a human being, yet on stage she had this incredible gusto and this magnificent voice. How do you get that right so you've got her insecurities matched with her phenomenal talent?
I just tried to focus on the fact that she was two different people, and that helps in many ways because when she does her performances, that is a screen or the hologram. So I find my responsibility is actually to find the more difficult parts of her and to try and portray that vulnerability and just those mix of emotions that she goes through. And I try not to ignore that and just try to enhance that because obviously the hologram does all the shows for you, and then after that I just try to focus on getting the meaty bits and the gritty bits out there for the audience.
Creating a role and being in part of a new musical has to be sensational. It's always fun. It's also a lot of hard work. Has it been a great gig for you at this point? I know the boss has sat next to us.
Absolutely fantastic. No, it has. Most of my career has actually been new shows, so it's something that I absolutely adore doing, throwing yourself into something new, creating something completely from scratch, which we've really done with this job. It's been it's been teamwork from, the script all the way through. Everybody has been there from the very beginning. So you've had a lot of creatives all piling in, and it's been a fantastic experience.
And I have to ask you then, Duncan, why did you want to do it? Why is this a passion of yours that you wanted to bring to the stage?
Honestly, Alex, I didn't know much about Dusty before I started researching the script, and now I've come to love her and come to see what she did, and it is quite incredible. I mean, apart from the battles she had as a woman in a man's world, she also fought very strongly for black people's rights, as you'll see from when she went to South Africa, and that was an amazing thing for me because artists in that era didn't do that, and she spoilt things for a lot of other artists by taking this stand, and very few people, including sportsmen, have done that. So I think that's one of the things I admire about and I've learned. And I just going back to what Fran was saying, this has been a journey which has been quite incredible. We set out to do something which hasn't been done before, in merging so many different aspects, live theatre, music and video, and it was hard, and the cast have been tremendous in supporting us in some struggles together. We've made lots of changes from the very first show, but the show that you will see tonight is much changed, and it's fantastic. We're really, really proud of it now.
I can't wait to see it. I mean, you talked on the race stuff, which we haven't spoken about in detail before. In a way, it was career suicide because, as you say, not many people did this. Nina Simone made a big thing about race, and it made her massively unpopular with some and a hero to others. What was her motivation? She's just a principled person?
She always felt like an outsider anyway. And she was known as a bit aloof and a bit separate from people. And I think she just stuck up for those outsiders. I think she felt a connection with people who were persecuted or, the outsiders, the underdog. I think she always supported the underdog because that's what she was herself.
I'm just saying that, and the funny thing is that most of the things we're talking about here haven't really gone away. They're still in society today, and that's a very, very sad thing. And hopefully, we will slowly change it. But the rights of people that don't have the same sexual preference, the rights of people that are black, and the rights of women in the world, still big problems there.
And then we should talk about the positive side of Dusty, which is the legacy of the music, which of course people still love on radio shows around the world. This music is uplifting. I mean, I Only Want to Be Like You, I Close My Eyes and Count to 10 is a moving song. But these are stunning hits, aren't they?
They're massive torch song ballads. I mean, all of them. Every single song in this show, I think everybody knows, don't they? Yeah. I mean, my dad, ever since I left drama school 10 years ago, was like, if only you could be in a Dusty Springfield show. So he was over the moon, because he listens to it daily in the car. So for me, to be in a show where you're listening to that music every night is fantastic.
What's the best one in the show then? Probably I Close My Eyes and Count to 10 is my favourite as a song in itself. You Don't Have to Say You Love Me is probably the biggest hit of Dusty. I Didn't Want to Be With You is the one they play in the clubs.
I'm going for Middle of Nowhere. Yeah. It really is an uplifting song. I love the backing vocalists in it. I love the energy from the whole cast. But I also have to say that Fran's duet is quite amazing. I enjoy that, as I do the other duet where Norma's singing. Very good.
What do you think about in that moment when she's on the screen? And we know she's not really there, but you've got to bring that to life. Is it creepy? Is it exciting? What are you thinking at that point?
No, I think for me, I've always chosen to look at her as if she really is my friend, because I am playing, obviously, the friend of Dusty Springfield. So when I'm watching her on the screen, which I have a lot of moments in the show when I'm doing that, in my mind, I'm watching my friend perform. So I suppose that's how I've made it work for me. So there's sort of real feelings, so to speak.
And I'm seeing it tonight, the audience reaction so far. I've been looking at the reviews online and stuff. People are loving this. That must be a great relief from your perspective, Duncan.
Yeah, very proud of it. And I knew we had to make something that the fans would like, but also that the general public and theatre goers would like. And I think now we're in a place where we please everybody. And I can tell you people go out of here very, very happy, uplifted, and knowing a lot more about a pop icon.
Congratulations getting this on stage. It's on here at the Charing Cross Theatre. The footfall from Charing Cross Station is enormous, so that's got to do you some good.
It's a lovely little theatre. It's a nice home. Dusty would have loved it here.
I think so. Ellie, great to see you. I can't wait to see your Dusty tonight. And of course, Francesca, nice to see you again. Although we will get to the bottom of this. There's something inappropriate happened, because somewhere up here I'm remembering something. I'm not quite sure when and with
who. Put it in a dark corner, haven't you? Close that door.
Hey, listen, congratulations. Just see the show's on here at the Charing Cross. Thanks for talking to us.
Thanks, Alex.
Thanks, girls.
Thank you
very much.